Welcome back, sports fans, to another episode of Ugly Thirds. Today's topic is Reverse Retrospective Detroit Red Wings 1.0. Shrems and John, take it away.
Did the Red Wings forget to do a reverse retro?
I think it was a photocopy in black and white, and they just sent that in. This is bad. I mean, okay, so clearly they're throwing back from the regular red. Look, there's only so much to do. They're a one-color team. They're red.
They're a one-logo team.
One logo, right? There's only so many. That's why the Stadium Series and Winter Classics has been a stretch for them. They're going way back.
Yep.
Like this one. This was worn for a year in the first 2 years of their existence. Like it was like second. They're going way back.
Yeah.
So they did a reverse retro of their regular home because it's certainly not the whites, right? Because the whites have these great sleeve stripes that are fantastic. Why they didn't flip this? I mean, other than University of Wisconsin has used that red version of this with the white sleeves for a very long time. Yeah, I mean,
this. So in 2017, they did a 100-year classic, 100-year something or other.
Something.
This is the jersey that they wore. Sans the little stripes here.
4 stripes. One of them was silver, and then little red stripe. Good luck finding that one too. That's gone.
Yeah, it was forgettable. That's for sure. But are they pigeonholed into using only this or a slight variation of this for all of these things?
So the Reverse Retro 2.0, which none of us own yet, so that's why I'm wearing is this, but flipped, and they didn't even flip it, they introduced black to it.
Yeah.
So, they're already thinking outside the box there. The old starter fashion jerseys, there's a baby blue, there's a black Detroit ones. They could get some interesting things there.
Could be.
Their first Winter Classic with the waist stripe and then the D. They've never done a red version. I think there's been a red version for the alumni games around that one, but like those aren't for sale.
Outside of that D was the first time that they didn't use this.
Right. So there's things they could try. Detroit Falcons they've never touched. It had Detroit and then Falcons. You change it to Red Wings. That one would. But it's
who on earth is like who knows who the Detroit Falcons are?
Exactly. They were the Cougars before they were the Falcons for like 2 years. Now here's the thing. The other thing is that they already had worn something exactly like this. The 40s and 50s, I'm going the wrong way, were this in with it's a red stripe. Like if they actually reverse retroed properly and just flipped this, they would have a throwback to like pre-Gordie Howe era. And actually, I made this one. That's why it's so goofy. It's my World War II jersey. But this would have been a better reverse retro than this. Gray. Why gray or silver? Why is that their thing? I don't understand that at all. I'll tell you, the only reason I bought this, because this is atrocious, why is this not? Is because we do whiteouts at school, and kids have been like, well, it's white, but it's not like completely, like this is as close to completely white jersey I can get without it being just a practice jersey.
Yeah.
So, and I need numbers on it. People aren't going to believe it's a jersey. So, it's bad. It might be the worst of. Wait, which is worse, this or the Islanders just switching from Royal to Navy? Which is worse?
I think because the Islanders have had so many looks, I give them the worst grade because they
should have done better.
They should have done better. I don't think Detroit can do any better or any worse without completely. Now, and I don't know the story behind it, but what Phil's wearing, the Montreal Canadiens in like baby blue, where did that come from?
Montreal Expos. It's an Expos homage, which is not. I don't think that's well executed either. I
think that's for another video.
That is for another video.
But my point is, like, when you have a team that's so steeped in their history, like that hasn't been done because they did that series in Reebok with the Centennial and things like that.
Right.
You're out of things like.
There are very few things to reverse retro.
Yeah.
You could Winter Classic, and like Boston is making things from whole cloth. You're saying it looks like an error. They're using some piece. The Flyers, when in their one Winter Classic, they're like, oh, this was based on the sock we wore in the 80s, and they just made it to the sleeve stripe. Look, it looked like a decent jersey. The storytelling was trash, but the jersey wasn't. I think you could make some interesting things with this, and they failed.
Yeah.
I as of like between like of the just jerseys looks, no storytelling, just in a vacuum. What's the jersey look? I say this is the worst of the first reverse retros.
Yeah, it very well could be. This is very much tied with the Islanders. Like,
It's bad.
yeah, low effort.
Very low effort. That's
effort.
yes, low effort is right. I think it was left on a copy machine, and they there was a black and white copy. They only had a black and white printer, and they handed that to the NHL, and they went, "Fine, sure." There it is. Brutal.
Unfortunately.
Yep. So that's actually a short episode for us, but there's only so many different ways we can say how this is terrible.
Beat this
So
to death.
with that, he's Shrems. I'm John Phil. Take us out.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and tune in for another episode of Ugly Thirds.